Hello, let's continue our work with an interesting scale model in 1/35 scale that we started in the last video. It's French EBR 75 reconnaissance vehicle from HobbyBoss. I unmount these wheels on this stage of work. For this moment we almost finished work on a hull of this armored car. Also in this episode we will work with the unusual swinging turret that has 75mm gun, long gun, like it was on a Panther. It seems that some amount of putty will be used here. Okay, let's finish hull at first, and then move to the turret. Instruments, have to be located on the exterior part of our hull. These telescopic tubes consist from two parts, assemble them together and then put on their places on the hull. The holes for it were drilled earlier. Fix the tubes with a small amount of thin glue. Some instruments, like this sledgehammer, located directly on the front armored plate. I can add that model has good assembling, but detalization of some small details, like these handlers for instruments, on the medium level. But it can be. On the other side I put shovel and a pick. Photo-etched parts from the box are also here. So now finally almost all details on their places. Stock triplexes, I will try to paint them somehow. Mirrors on the both sides, I upgrade them with a metallic wire. And the last detail from the hull section is a handler or a fixator for a gun when the vehicle in march position. This detailed in a kit in upfolded state. So it looks like I have to fix gun in this handler and prepare our vehicle for transportation. But I want to fold this handler. I have to think about it how it can be done. And moving next. Okay, now let's assemble a turret section. Rear part at first consists from two elements, put them in a correct position one to another and fix them with the extra thin glue. Have to be careful during gluing process if we don't want to leave fingerprints on a plastic. Upper part is more complicated. I put their movable axis from the box. Through that axis this turret can swing. Some of these gaps and dents have to be fixed with the putty. The main idea that we assemble two parts of the turret together and then fix them with such a plank that have to be connected with that axis, and such a mechanism represents swinging like in real EBR or AMX-13 light tank. Now time for different hatches and panels that without any problems were mounted on the top of our turret. Among such details, ventilation cap, hatch for projectiles, cases extraction, hatches for ammo recharging and so on. Commander's cupola, it has one big problem, totally absence of any sights for it. I mean no triplexes in this kit for this cupola. Well, I will try to fix this too. Add some putty, not everywhere, because I have an interesting idea. By the way, can recommend to me as putty for different works. So in this kit there is another option except that I show you in a previous video. First case, you can assemble turret in this way, like you see now on your screens. It allows to swing turret. Disadvantage of this case, additional work with the putty, and second disadvantage, big amount or maybe all EBRs, if you check the photos in the internet, was with such a dust cover on the manlet of this turret. And such a cover is available in this kit. There are two plastic parts for this purpose. This option more interesting and maybe more realistic, but in this case our swinging will be disabled. Well, maybe for someone this is a problem, not for me. This cover plays a role of dust protection. I decided to use such a parts for this model. I think it's a better solution, well, as for me. But another one disadvantage, this protection not so realistic if we compare it with the real EBRs, real photos of this vehicle, especially if we talk about faults on it. I want to improve the view of this jacket with the latex glow. Cut off such a piece, I hope it will be enough for mine job. And all we have to do now is to cover our plastic part with this latex piece. In the same time I'm trying to glue it with specific folds to imitate a real dust cover. I do it step by step, and the main problem here is you have only one attempt to do everything good, because the glue very fast fixes our latex with the plastic parts. For this purpose, by the way, I use super glue gel. Receive such a detail, not perfect solution, but much better than stock in-box detail as for me. On the sides of the cover I add narrow pieces of elastic modeling tape to imitate metallic handlers for this dust protection. After primering process we reveal how good or not this dust protection. Also add handlers and Ds from the box on this turret, such as small details. Send a little our main gun SA-50, which is 75mm caliber. Additional detailing from the in-box photo etch parts, caps for our smoke mortars. And finally let's check almost the final view on a hull and turret of this reconnaissance vehicle. So there is some details that have to be added on this model, among them triplexes for commander's cupola. Antennas I want to add 2 pieces like it was on real EBR, and also solve a problem with the handler for gun. I want to assemble it in a fold position. So yes, looks good and I love this model. One more step and it will be ready for painting. So that's all for today, thank you for watching, have a nice day and goodbye guys!